Hey, Ryan.
I didn't do it.
Hey, Ryan.
What?
Guess who's back? Back again. The Geek Dad Report's back. Tell your friends. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Do. Na. Episode 167. What?
Did people even know that we were gone in the first place?
Two people knew, so I'd like to give those two people a shout out. Faithful 50 viewer / listener / subscriber Chris, all formerly known as Good Chris, formerly known as Boring Chris. Now we have to refer to him as like bring something to the table occasionally, Chris. And I guess we have to change his name to Notice We Were Gone, Chris.
Yes.
And number one Faithful 50 member, Christine.
Let me guess. Oh, yeah, Christine.
Oh, I gotta get her a Fandango card. Christine won a Fandango card because she's the best, and I have it in my wallet, and I have to send it to her. So, Christine, if you're watching, you're getting a Fandango card very soon.
Yeah. So we did take a break last week, but we're back this week, just in case for the other 7 people.
Ryan had his in-laws come to town, and he thought he'd be able to get away, but he couldn't, and I live in Seattle, so I'm currently under 72 feet of snow.
That's a lot of snow.
And pretty much the end of the world happened, so we're going to talk more about that later, but first, welcome everybody to episode 167 of the Geek Dad Report, the one show dedicated, formulated, specially created, and bringing you guys all the nerd news you need to know right after I shovel my way out of the goddamn driveway and out of my house. I had to go outside, find the internet connection. There's a magical beast that I had to hunt, and I put in a headlock, and I connected it to my house, and now I'm here. Brian West, the hostess with the magical internet mostess.
And I am Ryan. I sent my 11-year-old out to do all my shoveling. So
wow,
that's what having a son is good for.
Wow. So you're saying my daughters are not capable of shoveling my driveway?
I'm saying your daughters are capable, but I doubt they'll do it. Oh.
Challenge accepted. Hey girls! You're shoveling the driveway tomorrow! That just happened. That is not what they just said. They just said, do we have a shovel? It's Washington. Nobody owns a snow shovel. Whatever.
Especially in this area. I'm sure there's like so many people that like had to drive to the store just to buy a shovel.
I don't want to talk about driving to a store. It took me 2.5 hours to go 8 miles on last Friday when it snowed 6 inches. And I was sending you pictures. I usually do my grocery shopping, so, here's an inside look into the life of a father and husband, the exciting life. Every Friday when I get off work, I go grocery shopping. Mm-hmm. And if things are real exciting, I hit up the Costco.
Ooh.
Dude, they got the best.
Get the bulk goods.
Bulk booze. That's what you need to get. Or as I like to call it, the special deal with the kid sauce.
So I always have to get the big giant box of Cheez-Its, because if I get a regular box of Cheez-Its, I'll just destroy that in a night.
Can't you throw Cheez-Its in a fire and use them instead of logs? Or is that Cheetos?
I've done that.
I think you can legit use them in a pinch if you have no firewood. You can burn Cheetos and Cheez-Its.
Why would you burn?
Because of all the chemicals in them. So I don't know if that's... I'm pretty sure they're basically just pressed cardboard, sprinkled with salt and cheese flavor.
Cheez-Its are the greatest creation that mankind has ever come up with.
If you were to eat an entire mouthful of Cheez-Its at one time and eat it, you could actually pull it out. It would make a mold of your teeth. It doesn't digest.
Do you want me to go get a giant handful?
And then you have to chisel. You have to chisel the Cheez-Its off the back of your teeth.
I didn't know you were such a Cheez-Its, anti-Cheez-Its.
I mean, I'm not anti-Cheez-Its. I'm just saying, I don't think they're good for you. I like Pop-Tarts, but apparently they're deemed the worst thing on the planet.
Now, so I don't know how to respond to this. This is not... I don't know if I can get past this, Brian.
Listen, if I'm going to have a cheese thing of choice, I'm getting the Munchie Mix, the Cheddar Munchie Mix, and that's what I'm saying. That's infinitely better than Cheez-Its.
I think we need to move on before we have to end our friendship.
That's a fucking line in the sand. The Cheez-Its. That's it. That's all I've had to do this whole time to get you to fucking leave is talk shit about Cheez-Its. Oh, I wish I would have known this information years ago. Welcome to the Fuck Cheez-Its podcast. I'm Ryan West.
It tastes great, Brian.
And here to tell us why he rubs Cheez-Its on his naked body, special guest interview, Ryan Tomlinson. What are we talking about? We're talking about Snowmageddon. So yeah, so I go to Costco before you derailed me on your stupid Cheez-Its talk. Yeah, so because we had snow here and everyone lost their mind and it was all over the news, like just flashing. They even gave it a name. They call it Snowmageddon 2019. Everybody.
This is like the first time I actually because I think I've seen at least like headline for 30 Snowmageddons growing up in the Seattle area, and this might be the actual first time that it applied.
We did get a lot of snow, and I know if you guys are watching this from the Midwest or anywhere else, I get it. You're sitting here laughing at Seattle, liberals in our Priuses, but this is not why. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some liberals in their Priuses who I was like, get the fuck off the road. But the reason why it's so bad in Seattle when it snows is our snow isn't like everywhere else. Our snow is extremely wet, and it gets compacted, right? Real easy. And when it hits, it like turns into this like solid pack that doesn't brush off the roads. That's incredibly hard to scrape off the roads. And we only have like 9 plows in the whole state of Washington because it doesn't snow here very often. And we have a shit ton of hills. And you combine hills, already bad drivers, compact snow and ice, and it always, when it snows, it's always right around 32 degrees. So it warms up, it melts, and then it freezes, and then you get another layer of wet snow that sticks to the ice. It's a nightmare, and it's been snowing. I mean, we had legit, I think at SeaTac, the airport where they measure it, it's the most snow we've ever had in February, like ever.
Jeez.
And it's not even the end of the month yet, and we're supposed to get some more snow next week, so it has been crazy around here. Schools have been shut down all week. Businesses, people just aren't showing up. There's cars on the side of the roads. People just abandon them. And then I went to the grocery store. Like I said, I went out on Friday, and it looked like the apocalypse had happened. There's no milk. There's no bread. Most produce is gone. There's like a single can of chili rolling down the aisle.
All the even like the Tomasitos and shit.
Everything was gone. It's empty. Everything's empty. Right? Everything. All the snack food. And you can tell, like, the stoners were really at the stores, too. Because, like, all the Funyuns were gone. Dude, all the, like, cans of, like, Cheez-Its. The Cheez Whiz, all gone. Like, all the drink mixers, gone. Booze, gone. Beer, gone.
People think that they have to make, like, while they're... When there's going to be snowed in their house, they have to make, like, a weird concoction of
dude you should have seen, because we have legal pot stores here, you should have seen the line Friday morning, because when I drive to work you drive past the pot store. You should have seen the line outside of the pot store. And then on the way home on Friday, that same pot store, so it was a super line, and by the end of the day there'd been so many people, they literally were paying people to direct traffic, and they had like little, like those it was like little orange lights that they do with airlines.
Light things?
Like they're moving cars in and out to try and get them into the pot store. I'm just like, oh my God, this is...
Get your weed!
Amazing. People were ready to be snowed in for the weekend, and they were going to get real fucked up. So yeah, it's been madness.
Have you ever made a snowball before?
Well, it was one time back in 97. But no, I mean, it's been, the kids are all getting stir crazy because now it's officially turned to rain snow mix, so it's just nasty wet. Like, it looks like snow. Dude, work has been miserable. Yesterday, every time I stepped in snow, I'm up to my freaking ankles in water, like frozen water. Socks are just drenched all day.
Now, are your trucks the ones that have like the no like driver's side door or something, or do you at least have like?
No, so I'm not like UPS. We do have sliding doors, but it's on the passenger side, and you can close it. So it's not. Even UPS can close their doors. They just choose not to.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's cold. My heater last Wednesday, it was 18 degrees, and my heater broke, and I'm driving around in my work truck with no heater. It was, dude.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so all that shit that you gave me about the negative 20 degrees, do I have to say like karma, or is it the universe is retaliating against.
Listen here, Cheez-Its fucker. I am not gonna deal with your negative karma. I don't believe in karma. All right. You know what? Maybe I had it coming a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. That's right. That's true. I was giving it to you pretty good. I'm sitting here like in shorts at 60 degrees. Okay, to be fair, when I gave you shit, it was 62 degrees in Seattle. And that was a month ago.
Yeah.
Now it's 18 degrees. My heater broke, so I will never say anything bad about Philadelphia being negative 15 degrees and you wearing sweatshirts on the show again. But I mean, it wasn't all bad. I got to go out and I guess. I don't want to save this for Parent Trap, but I got to go out. Well, you know what? I have a different trap story I'm going to share when we do Parent Trap later. But I got to go out and make a snowman with the kids. That was pretty fun. Bury them under snow.
Have not made a snowman yet this year. We haven't had more than like 2 or 3 inches at a time, and this time we just had straight up slush ice.
Nice.
In the last couple of days. So I've been working from home for the last 2 days.
That must be nice. I don't think I can deliver stuff from home, so
I've really been wearing my pajamas for 2 days. It's been really bad.
I guess it's a good thing for all of us you don't sleep in the nude.
Yes.
That'd be awkward.
That would be awkward. But we do have a good show for everyone.
But that's what we've been up to, everybody. So it's been hell. Anyway, on this episode of the show, it's not going to be hell, though. We have a lot of things. We got a ton of news. We got 2 weeks worth of news. We're not going to dive into a ton of stuff from last week, but there was some pretty big, interesting news that dropped, so we're going to talk about some of that stuff. We have a Parent Trap, like before mentioned. Ryan's is going to be more about parenting. Mine's going to actually be about husbanding, so it's going to be fun.
The husband trap.
The husband trap. It literally was a trap. I trapped my wife.
Yeah, that sounds like you're going to murder her or something like that.
And then I did this. Yeah, you're right. I was like, I trapped my wife. I trapped my wife with Game of Thrones. So there was no murder or weird sex games involved. It was just she's been holding out, and I finally got her. So we're gonna talk about how I got her to watch Game of Thrones and her reactions to the first episode. Woo!
And weird sex things that were not without consent. I think that's the best way.
What are you talking about? And then what else we got? We got lots of questions from the Faithful 50, so we're going to catch up on that. We had a few questions from last week that we will answer on this show. And recommendations. I don't think we have any topic for tonight, but who knows? When we get on the news, we'll see if there's anything we want to talk about, and we will do that if we feel fucking like we want to. So don't you tell us how to run this show, people, because we're almost professionals.
Yeah, we almost made a list of things to do. And then we decided to wing it. So
we made no list. We attempted no list, and we always wing it because that's what we do best. We're like Maverick and Goose. Yes. I'll let you decide which one you are, Ryan. Hashtag not Maverick.
Yeah. I pretty much know that you mentally always regulate me to Goose. So
it's not because I want you to die. I just think that you're a great
I know how your head works, Brian. You always will put yourself in the Maverick position. So I'm just going to just let you have it. I know you have really fragile, feelings. So about your authoritatorship of the Geek Dad Report.
All right. Anything else? Anything else you want to say about me before I keep? You want to dive deeper?
No.
Take a few more swings at me, you son of a bitch. Sure. Whatever. Where's that ejection seat? And we also have recommendations. So we got a fun show for you guys. And then we're taking a week off because I'm on vacation next week. So woo!
Great balls of fire.
We're totally getting flagged for our, unpaid use of songs in this episode. Whatever.
Yeah, YouTube is going to ban this, or they're going to get rid of this episode because
whatever. Probably doing us all a favor. Anyway, all right. You ready to dive into the news? We got a lot of it, Ryan. Or do you got anything else you want to talk about? Any more stories of whining shittiness or anything? No?
Mm-hmm. That's just the internet. So.
Oh, God. I hate the internet. We're not talking about the internet. Actually, we might talk about the internet a little bit in the news. All right. Well, then let's do it, Ryan. Let's dive in. Let's dive in with the snowplow of information. The Ice Fist of knowledge.
And you finish it off with the Jack Frost leg sweep whoosh, of learning.
You're gonna finish it off with the Jack. What?
Jack Frost.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Brian, I'm not going where you're trying to go, Brian.
Where would that be, Ryan?
I'm my own man, Brian.
Hey, I'm not here to judge. What you do with your jacking is your choices. Speaking of snowmen, people, how would you like to build another one? Because today, the big news of the day is we got our first Frozen 2 trailer.
Is it Frozen 2 or is it Game of Thrones or is it Frozen # Game of Thrones?
Dude, I don't know, man.
What it seemed like.
I really got a Frozen / Avengers vibe going on. Like, so the first Frozen movie was if you don't know what Frozen is, you don't have kids yet. But anybody who has a child that's over the age of 5, you have seen Frozen at least 172 times.
Not only have you seen Frozen, but you own the soundtrack, and you probably listened to the soundtrack all the way through 500 times.
And if you're like me, I could probably sing Let It Go the entire, like, start from the beginning and to the end. And I literally sometimes find myself humming, Do You Want to Build a Snowman?
Yeah. And if somebody was like at a piano and they start playing the keys to like Let It Go or anything like that, you can probably pick it up.
Oh, easily. So, we all heard Frozen 2 was coming, especially since it made $1 billion. The first one made $1 billion. It's, a no-brainer. Is it a good movie? Yes. Is it my favorite Disney movie of all time? No. I mean, is it obnoxious because I've had to watch it 1,000,000 times? Absolutely. But it is a good movie, and so I understand. I wasn't not looking for
shared experience with your kids.
Yeah, so when I heard they were making a sequel, it wasn't like, oh, it's going to be the bane of my existence. I'm like, all right, sure, whatever. The first movie was about sisters bonding and love and acceptance, and it was a lot of really good positive themes, and my daughters loved it and had some really catchy songs, and it was funny, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. And then I see the trailer for 2, and it's like Elsa, like she's all determined, she's using her superpowers, like trying to run on the ocean. It's like she's trying to stop the ocean. I'm not quite sure what that's about.
It's literally stopping the ocean.
Yeah, I mean it's like a training montage. It's like in Star Wars: The Last Jedi when you saw in the trailer when Rey's like running and like on the mountain with her lightsaber. I'm just like, ooh, what's this? And then it shows Kristoff like riding this herd of like reindeer, like all angrily.
But then he's got like a reindeer army.
Dude, nobody smiled in this trailer. And then Anna, it shows like Tomb Raider Anna. She's like all decked out and cool, like, I don't know, Winterfell. I don't know, what the hell's the name of her town? Arendelle gear with like leathers and stuff. And she's like jumping rocks and finding shit in caves. And I'm like, oh, what's this? And then it shows them all together, like using their powers. And then it ends with Anna like pulling Kristoff's sword and like Conan the Barbarian style slashing something.
That's why I said it's the Game of Thrones version of Frozen, and they're going to be attacking like Rapunzel's kingdom.
Oh my God! Maybe the Night King has showed up there.
Oh, because they're going to battle for who's going to be the true White Walker.
Who's the King of the North, the Queen of the North, and everybody knows it's going to be Anna and Elsa with their superpowers. I don't know. It definitely looks like they're going in a little bit of a different direction, which I'm kind of excited about. I mean, Elsa is a straight up superhero, so why not? Why not?
I mean, what about God? What's the snow guy?
Olaf.
I didn't see him in the.
Yeah, he was in it. He didn't talk, but he was there. He was in a couple of scenes. But yeah, I mean, listen, if they're trying to do Incredibles 3...
Like, take Olaf, and instead of being like a little tiny snowman, he's going to be like an 8-foot, like, muscular snowman.
What if this is a secret trailer for the origin story of Frozone from The Incredibles? Samuel L. Jackson's Iceman character?
I think they're gonna go take over Rapunzel's kingdom, and then they're gonna go knock over Cinderella's kingdom, and she's gonna become like an evil.
All I know is my youngest was like, "Dad, this looks awesome," and my oldest is like, "Wow." She goes, "Frozen got really harsh." So I got a question. Do you think two things. One, do you think this trailer is an accurate representation of what the movie's going to be? So do we think that Frozen's taking a little bit of a darker, maybe more action turn?
No. I think they're just doing it for the trailer.
Just trying to get people hooked on like, whoa, this is something different.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think they're trying to make it more appealing for boys.
I don't think they need to. It made $1 billion even without appealing to boys the first time.
But yeah, remember, they don't know how to market things anymore.
I would be okay with an action adventure style, movie with these characters. I think that'd actually be really cool. You can even throw in songs. I don't mind songs in Disney movies, but it would be. I don't want to see the exact same movie. So I if they are sending this team on an adventure, I think that's actually kind of a cool way to go, right? I don't want to see
They had like the fall leaf.
Yeah.
And the fall leaf was like going through like the Frozen thing. I don't know what that.
It definitely felt like somebody was attacking the kingdom, right? It definitely seemed like it was defend yourself time.
To make it not Frozen anymore.
This is originally based on the German. I think it's German fable of the Snow Queen, right, or the Snow Witch or whatever, the Ice Queen. And in that story, there's more than one queen, right? There's other people with power, so maybe they're trying to dive into that a little bit more.
They're gonna battle the Queen of Fall.
Yeah, it's possible. The Fall Queen. I don't know. All I know is I think it looks pretty cool. If that's the direction they're going, that would actually get me a little more excited to see this. And so, secondly, if they do that, if that is the direction, the second part of the question, if that is the new direction, do you think it's a good idea, or do you think they should stick with what worked in the first movie?
Well, they can't stick with what worked in the first movie because that would you would have to like reboot the whole movie essentially. I mean, they have to move the story forward, and I mean, I guess this is just where they're going to take it. I mean, you couldn't really do much more with the first movie, trying to expand on it.
I don't think it's a bad thing to send these characters on an adventure. I mean, why not send them on an adventure?
Do we really need it? No, but I guess not.
Speak for yourself. I would love to see like Elsa on a super team up, super powered movie.
I was perfectly fine with the Frozen universe being done with that one.
Are you kidding me? I hope they have special. I hope they've been training together. I hope like Anna is now a ninja and she needs like swords, and so Elsa like freezes her hands and gives her like ice swords.
So you want it to be kind of like
I want Legends of the Guardians.
This is what the Iron Fist that you wanted. You wanted to like
yes. I wanted to find out that Anna has secret powers and she's been training with a bunch of monks. How great would that be? And Kristoff is actually like he's Conan. He's Conan the Cimmerian.
Kristoff the Barbarian.
Yeah, there you go. So anyway, all right. Let us know what you guys thought about the what fucking movie we were talking about? Frozen, the Frozen 2 trailer. Jesus, a little rusty here. Let's see. Do we want to keep talking trailers or do you want to talk ninjas?
Ninjas.
So apparently we are getting a Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. Warner Brothers is doing this. They're teaming up with I don't even know whoever makes Ninja Turtles, and we are getting a Batman Ninja Turtles crossover. They did it in the comic books. Apparently it's really good. I haven't read it yet, but I'm super excited for this movie.
Yeah, I'm going to watch this.
Oh yeah,
easy. This is an easy buy.
Oh dude. We're gonna do a whole show about this. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. So that's all I gotta say about that. I'm super excited about it. Something else I'm super excited about. Apparently Hulu and Marvel have struck a deal, and they are going to make a bunch of Marvel animated series. And one of them is going to be the big one that I care about. Is going to be a Howard the Duck animated series written and directed by Kevin Smith.
The not dead Kevin Smith, so that's good.
Yes, not Kevin James either. Kevin Smith.
Kevin James.
Kevin James.
Now you got me thinking about Kevin James.
Well, if you ever watch this podcast, people always apparently think he's Kevin James, and so they're always...
Oh, okay. I didn't know where that was coming from.
Oh, yeah.
I listened to his podcast.
Apparently, like when he had a heart attack, Disney sent him a basket saying "Get better," and then they said "Get better, Kevin James."
Yeah, that's sad.
That's so.
So Marvel is teaming up with Hulu and they're giving Netflix the finger, basically.
Well, I mean, listen. Once the Fox merger is completely done, which is going to be done here in the next few months, Disney will own 60% of Hulu, so it makes sense for them to work a deal with Hulu. Obviously they're absorbing into the company, but Hulu's staying its own separate entity, which is actually really cool. The fact that Marvel's doing stuff. And some of the other shows were a MODOK, a Dazzler. These are more adult-oriented type animated shows. The rumor was that Hulu would be the kind of the adult Marvel shows, where the Disney Plus will be the more family-friendly, the more MCU type shows, which kind of sparked interest in the cancel Netflix series. In fact, they were talking to in a recent interview. I think Deadline did it. They're talking to the CEO of Hulu or whoever runs the company about the Marvel series, the canceled ones, and he's like, yeah, we love the Netflix shows. There's a lot of properties we are really excited to do TV shows about, and once this thing gets done with Marvel, we're interested to talk to them and get moving on that. So, you might see it. It would take a few years, but I think Hulu would be a perfect place to launch. I mean, they already have what's the Marvel show they have right now? The Runaways.
They have Runaways. I think you can watch Legion on there.
I think you can watch Cloak and Dagger on there too.
Yeah, you can watch Cloak and Dagger on there.
Oh, hey, side note, Legion, since you brought up Legion, it's been announced that the season 3 of Legion will be its final season. Anybody who's been watching it, this actually makes a lot of sense. The story is kind of running its course, and we are going to get Professor X in the final season. So if anybody watches it, if you've ever watched it, you know that Legion is the son of Professor X, and if you've never seen it, well, now you know. So we are getting an actual Professor X in season 3. So, yeah. But yeah, Cloak and Dagger. I think you can watch Cloak and Dagger on Hulu now as well. It definitely seems like that would be a great platform for the more adult versions of these Marvel shows.
Because we know they're not going to put the movies on there. So.
Yes. Well, and also Bob Iger recently came out. In his last Disney press, when he was not press, but what do they call it? The board meetings, the stock calls, where they basically tell the future for the next year of Disney.
And they do earnings.
The earnings, thank you. The earnings reports. He also announced that Disney has decided that they are not going, or that they're not going to stop doing R-rated Disney movies, or X-Men movies. So we are gonna get more Deadpool. Which, I mean, come on, we all knew that they didn't want to cancel. I mean, Deadpool is $1 billion franchise. Why would you stop Deadpool?
Yeah, why would you stop something that's going to make you butt tons of money?
Well, and I think, they tried this PG-13 version of Deadpool to see if it would work, and it didn't. Nobody cared. Nobody gave a shit.
Yeah.
Because Deadpool is for adults, and they don't care. They don't want to be PG-13.
And what also came out of that earnings call, which is another news item that we had, was that Marvel is going to stop. You will not be watching the Captain Marvel movie on Netflix, and they're going to take $150 million hit for that.
So they didn't say exactly why. Do you think it's got to be some kind of a breach, right? I think Netflix had a deal with Marvel to air through a certain time.
Yeah, it's a breach of the contract, and they're willing to bet that in the long term it'll pay off for them more to have it just on their Disney Plus platform.
So to pay that $150 million, do you think they had to shake two of their did they just open a cushion up in the employee break room and find the $150 million in Bob Iger's office just laying around?
That's probably how it works.
Do you think they send it to him in Disney tickets, to get to the park?
Yeah, you just go in. There's this big huge Mickey, and when you punch it in the stomach, the money just starts shooting out of his mouth.
It's like a Mickey Mouse Trojan horse over to Netflix. Yeah, so to your point, yes, this is definitely. There's a reason why they work to deal with Hulu and not Netflix. Netflix is officially a rival of theirs, and you said, they're willing to pay $150 million to not put Captain Marvel on there. So,
I think they're saying that the last two movies that you should be able to watch on Netflix will be Endgame and Spider-Man.
Endgame is also not going on there. Spider-Man, Spider-Man may go on there because it's Sony. They still have the distribution rights. But yeah, what's funny is, and Disney Plus is already getting into my brain because Wreck-It Ralph 2 just came out on digital, but I'm thinking I was going to buy it for the kids, but I'm like, wait a minute. I'm just going to wait a few months, subscribe to Disney Plus, and they're going to have all their Disney movies on there. So why buy when you can stream?
Yeah, and Apple's going to be starting their streaming thing in April or something. So,
But I will say the good news for Apple is if you own any Apple device and all you need is this little Apple TV app, this one right here, where'd it go? If you have this Apple TV app right there, watch now. That's not, you can't really see it. It's too bright. There you go. This Watch Now app right here, anything that all their streaming stuff will be available to you for free.
it's not too shabby.
That is at least a good deal. Warner Brothers also kind of softly announced that all the CW shows are going to be leaving Netflix as well. They're going to be going to the Warner Brothers streaming service.
I am really close to canceling my cable and just going internet.
Dude, did I tell you? I don't know if we talked about it in the last show. I tried to cancel my cable, and they literally... Comcast, it was $109 for the internet that I needed. They literally gave me every channel, including a free X1 DVR service for $129. I'm like, well, for $20, yeah, I'll keep it. Jesus.
I'll keep it and I'll take all your upgrades.
Yeah, fine. I'll keep HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, Stars, because I would have got HBO anyway, and I would have, if just by getting HBO, I would have been over what I'm just paying right now for everything. So I was like, fine. You win this round, cable, you dicks.
I'm willing to bet that's what's going to happen to me, because they're just going to like be trying to just toss everything at me. I'll just say, all right, I'll pay an extra $10 a month and you can give me HD and 3 TVs and everything else.
Yeah, so there you go. Anyway, Netflix, the streaming war is officially on. What else there with Disney? We said they were going to keep making R-rated properties, which is cool. That's the good news for all of us. Oh, Zootopia apparently has 2 sequels coming.
Yeah. Disney's kind of going all out with the sequels and
I will say
animated movies.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Zootopia sequels though, because I really like that movie, and I think that's a universe that's rich for more movies.
Oh yeah, I had my kids and I and my wife. We all loved watching Zootopia. I think we gave it by the 5th time. I was probably done with it, but
yeah, actually, I think that was the first.
So many tiny little things that they can do just to make a movie out of it. I mean, it doesn't have to be. Well, and
I actually think that was the first review I did with the girls. If you want to watch it on the Geek Dad Report, I did it with both my daughters, what they thought about Zootopia. But, yeah, I mean, Disney is just... Oh, what else let's see, what other news we go... Since we're on Disney, let's just talk more Disney here, since Disney officially owns everything. Yeah, we also got a new Aladdin trailer.
Oh, my God. You know...
We got to talk about this for a second, because... So, I am not prone to overreacting, and I remember we talked earlier when we got our first Aladdin trailer that we didn't see the genie, and then we got pictures of Will Smith and it was just Will Smith, it wasn't blue, and I was like, I want him blue. So they listened and they released a new trailer that was mostly the same footage, but now we got to see our first look at Will Smith as the genie, and I thought, whatever, it looks like a kind of a fat blue Will Smith.
And my friend Dale put it very eloquently on our Facebook page, where he said, it looks like somebody tipped over a porta potty onto him from the affair.
Whatever. I don't really care. I think it looks fine. I'm just not excited about this movie in general. But the internet acted like someone murdered their childhood.
Yeah, it's going to be fine, people.
It'll be fun. The question to me isn't whether or not we need a blue Will Smith. The question to me is whether or not we need these live action, remakes. Oh, for the love of God!
And the question is, do we deserve it, Brian?
So Disney's gonna make these regardless of what we think, but I think I'm gonna leave this with my youngest, Charlie. I showed her the trailer tonight after the Frozen trailer. She was so excited for Frozen, and then I showed her the Aladdin trailer. And I'm like, here, check it out. And she's like, I'm like, it's Aladdin. She goes, ooh. And 3 seconds in, she's like, it looks like the other one. And I'm like, yeah, but keep watching. She keeps watching. She's like, it's exactly the same as the other one. And I'm like, what other one? She's like, the cartoon one. And I'm like, yeah, I know, just keep watching. She keeps watching. She sees the genie. She's like, it's exactly like the other one. And I'm like...
She did not care.
Disney, you have not fooled my 6-year-old. She's onto your shit.
Did she? And then there's a Dumbo trailer that came out, and it shows little glimpses of Dumbo, kind of.
I don't even care about this Dumbo movie at all.
Yeah.
I didn't like the cartoon.
I could only watch parts of it because I got so bored watching it when I was a kid.
Dude, the original one is not good. I did not like the original one.
Yeah, I've never watched the original Dumbo all the way through.
I've seen it all the way through, and it's weird and creepy as shit.
Mm-hmm. It was one of those early Disney movies, and that's just kind of how they were, like, a little bit darker.
Yeah, they turned kids into, like, donkeys.
No, that's Pinocchio.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I don't remember Dumbo then. Which one's Dumbo? Which one's Dumbo? Oh, God. I don't like Pinocchio either. I don't want to see either one of them made.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got here?
Thank you, Disney overlords, for all the other nice things that you give us.
Let's see. When's the last time we did a show? We didn't ever talk about the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's because it sucked, and there was literally no commercials or trailers that we liked. There was an in-game trailer that I didn't watch because I'm going to go see the movie, and I don't need to see any more trailers.
Mm-hmm.
I did find out, though, that apparently... So, we talked a while ago about the fact that the rumor was that the first cut of Endgame was over 3 hours long, and we thought that was a great idea just to keep it 3 hours. Well, apparently it's still over 3 hours long. The Russos cannot find any more cuts. And that Disney is toying with the idea of running it in its full length and just putting an intermission in it.
That'd be cool. Why didn't need an intermission?
I say... Well, apparently in the screenings, people are refusing to go to the bathroom, and by the end, they're all bouncing around in their seats.
Yeah, well, then don't drink a shitload of soda right before the fucking movie, you idiots.
Yeah, whatever. 3 hours, I'm in. Listen, I grew up in the 90s. I watched Braveheart, Titanic. I watched all these movies in the theaters. They were all 3 hours long.
If you can't learn how to control your bladder for 3 hours, then, just learn how to, like, pee into your cup while you're sitting there.
That's good advice.
Not that hard.
Or once you eat all your popcorn, use that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not as good as your cup, but what else? We got a new Toy Story trailer. That's actually, it looks pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna watch Toy Story.
Yeah, I think everyone is, because we all thought the last one was going to be the last one. But this is the last one.
It's the last, whatever. They keep saying that. Oh, what other we got here? Apparently, Disney's looking to replace Hugh Jackman. They're trying to find a new Wolverine. Whatever. Not really a shocker there. Legends of Tomorrow's got renewed for another season. Good for them. I love that show. Nickelodeon apparently is making a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie for Netflix. So apparently Netflix is partnering up with Netflix or with Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I'll take it.
They also apparently came out today that Jesse Pinkman is going to be what the new Breaking Bad prequel movie is going to be about. And AMC is teaming up also with Netflix to air on AMC and Netflix. So, like I said, it looks like Netflix is trying to find new partnerships.
Well, Netflix has the first run rights for the movie, and then it goes to AMC. So they're trying to. So what they don't know is it's going to be like a Netflix original, or if they're going to like make it in theaters. I don't see why they would put it in theaters, but I could see it more as a Netflix original, and then they run it on AMC. I mean, if you didn't watch the Breaking Bad show,
I think most people found Breaking Bad on Netflix.
I found Breaking Bad on Netflix.
Yeah, so did I.
I found it like after the fourth season. I watched the final season on AMC. That was when I started watching it.
Oh yeah, we did too. We DVR'd it and watched it because we were watching the whole thing. That's right, I forgot. Yeah, good call.
Yeah, I was just like, I kept hearing a bunch of stuff about the show, and then so I just started watching it on Netflix. I got all the way up to like the first 4 seasons, and I watched the final season on AMC. I mean, if it wasn't for Netflix, I probably would have never gotten onto Breaking Bad.
Yeah, true. So, I don't know. I'll watch it. I like Breaking Bad. I don't watch Better Call Saul, so I don't really care, but I'll watch. I like Jesse Pinkman. He's cool. He's a good...
Yeah, Jesse was one of my favorite characters.
He's a great character.
Of someone who sells meth to people.
Aaron Paul was good in that show, and he really was the only character you could even kind of root for by the end.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you're like, just wanted him to die.
Still, in the end, he was making a drug that destroys people's lives, but...
The lesser of evils, Ryan. Don't be that guy. So, hey, real quick, back on, we kind of skipped over the Hugh Jackman news. I mean, I think we knew that Disney was going to recast Wolverine, but is there anybody you'd like to see play Wolverine, or would you like to see them kind of cast an unknown like they did with Hugh Jackman?
Well, are they going to recast him as like? Are they going to do like the Canadian Wolverine, like where he's like it's in the early 1700s or something?
Well, I mean, here's the problem. They want to go with the younger Wolverine, but Wolverine's always been old, so...
I know, that's what I was saying. So they're going to do younger Wolverine where he just got, like, the bone claws that come out.
I think you could cast a late 30s Wolverine who maybe looks, get somebody's... They just need to get somebody who's, like, really hairy and doesn't look too young.
That's what I'm trying to... I can't really...
I honestly wouldn't mind them. I kind of would like to see them go with somebody who we haven't seen before. Or maybe, like an up-and-coming actor.
Well, Disney's been kind of good with that. They're getting people who are like,
that's true. They've always been really good at their casting. I can't imagine that they're going to mess up the X-Men, so we'll see. If you guys have somebody you'd like to...
Zac Efron's going to grow a beard, and then they're going to just cast him.
I don't think he's big enough, but sure, why not? I don't care. So if you guys have an idea of anybody that you think would be an awesome Wolverine, let me know. And we get it. Hugh Jackman is the greatest, but he doesn't want to do Wolverine anymore, and he's like 55. So
I want my 4'9" Wolverine.
I would be okay if Disney did eventually did some kind of like a crossover future tale where you bring in the real Old Man Logan storyline from the comic books and you bring back Hugh Jackman as like a 65-year-old Wolverine. That'd be pretty badass.
Yeah, sweet.
I say do that, Disney. That's what I say. And then lastly, what else we got here? God, I don't want to talk about this, but Walking Dead news. They've been renewed for season 10. I haven't even watched the premiere for season 9 because I just don't care.
Brian, I never heard the show before.
Dude, Michonne is leaving the show out next season. I heard King Ezekiel's leaving the show, which means he's probably going to die. I just don't... I don't even care.
So Rick is leaving.
Rick left to do... Gone. Maggie's gone, but she may be doing her own movies like Rick is. Michonne's leaving, but she may show up on the Rick movies.
Because I know Maggie's on a new show already.
Yeah, and King Ezekiel is...
The show as, hey, remember Maggie from Walking Dead?
And King Ezekiel is leaving because in the comic books he got his head chopped off, so I'm guessing it's probably going to happen in the TV show. So, just throwing that out there. Spoiler alert. Whatever, I don't care. I don't care about that because The Walking Dead is dumb and Game of Thrones is coming, and that's all I care about.
The Walking Dead is a great metaphor for what that show is now. It is just basically just a zombie.
Apparently, the ratings are starting to recover. I just don't care. I'm gonna record 10 episodes and then I'll watch them 2 or 3 and then decide.
I saw a commercial like, look how close this new part is to the comic book series. They're trying to really hyping that Really,
I made it through Rick leaving, and I just don't know if I want to watch anymore. So.
This is the point where you guys decide, we got to try and tell people it's just like the comic books now.
Yeah, we'll see. Whatever, I don't know. Like I said, Game of Thrones is coming. We have pictures to prove it. Entertainment Weekly has released a whole bunch of epic pictures for the final run. Whatever. It has a bunch of Jon Snow being Jon Snow. I don't care. I think it's awesome. Let's see what else. Something that's not awesome. World War Z.
Actually, Brian, it's Aegon Targaryen. Not
whatever. Spoilers, dude. The shit. Paramount apparently has put the brakes on the World War Z sequel. So this movie is once again not getting made. It's been 6 years since the last one, and I'm starting to think this movie's never going to happen. So we'll
Nothing
see.
Like the book. You guys screwed up.
No one cares about your book elitism, Ryan. We got a Child's Play commercial. Did you care about the Child's Play trailer? Looks like Chucky.
I'm not going to watch Child's Play anything. So
we got a Pet Cemetery trailer. You care about?
I watched that. I let my father-in-law watch it, and because he really likes those kind of movies, and he's like, "Ooh, that's good."
It looks a lot like the original one, except for it's a daughter instead of a son in this. But I don't know, it looked cool. It looks scary. I don't know if I'll watch it. We got a new trailer we got the first trailer for a movie called Tolkien. It's about J.K. Tolkien and his basically his real life experience and what led him to create Lord of the Rings. And it looks pretty cool. It looks like they're going to intertwine fantasy with the movie itself. So kind of
Yeah,
shows his story.
they said he did get a lot of like his inspiration in World War One, because he was a British soldier during World War One, and that's, if you don't know, that war was effed up. And so yeah, I mean, it looks really good. I like how what you're saying, they're twining like, you know, like some of like the explosions and stuff during the war, where you kind of get like the vision of Sauron, you know, like in the clouds and everything. So it looks interesting.
Yeah, wow. His name is John Ronald Reuel Tolkien. That's quite the name. What I said? I said J.K. Tolkien. J.R.R. Tolkien.
Who's that? I
said J.K. Tolkien. Whatever. A lot of JKs out there as well. But, no, it looks really cool. I like the trailer. I liked it a lot. I think it's going to be really good. So, and then what else? Last bit of news we got for you guys. Well, there's two news stories. One is Good Omens, a show that is about an angel and a demon who are best friends. It's coming. It's from Neil Gaiman. It's coming soon. Apparently, they've cast the devil, and it's Benedict Cumberbatch. So I
always knew he was a devil.
I love old Cumberbatchy and anything, so I'm excited for this. And then lastly, we're going to file this under what the fuck, DC. Apparently, some great, wonderful Warner Brothers DC universe news. So after the huge success of Aquaman, DC has decided Aquaman, which by the way is the highest grossing DC superhero movie of all time, they're going to, on the hot success of Aquaman, they're not going to greenlight Aquaman 2. They're going to do a spinoff called The Trench about the trench monsters in the movie.
Yes.
They've also
I have not seen the movie, Brian, but I can just tell you right now that when you say trench monsters, it does not excite me at all.
No. I mean, that's a cool scene in the movie, but I don't care about that even a little bit as a movie. Ooh, maybe they'll have the Joker in it, though. That'd be cool.
The Joker is the trench monster.
So, we'll see. They had a whole bunch of news about their kind of...
submarine.
Well, they kind of... There was like another... I mean, this is a time of year where everybody tells, you know, their shareholders what they're doing for the year. And so, apparently, they've shelved Superman, a Superman sequel, and instead they're going with Supergirl. I don't know why you can't have both, but hey, whatever. Especially, it's going to be weird if you don't have Superman, but you introduce Supergirl. Sure, why not?
Because they don't know what they're doing anymore with their movies.
The Suicide Squad, this is pretty cool. Apparently Suicide Squad is going to be a complete reboot. There may not be any characters from the original movie, and it's going to be a completely different type of movie and story. And it may not be part of the DCU. Maybe its own standalone movie. Whatever.
Like I said, DCU right now, the movie universe... minus the animated ones, is a giant dumpster fire.
Jared Leto has apparently been fired as Joker, which, I mean, I guess isn't the worst thing in the world. But Harley Quinn is no longer going to be part of anything other than her own spin-off movies? I don't...
Dumpster fire, Brad.
Don't care. No idea. The fact that you will go from Aquaman, the highest grossing movie of all time for DC, and you decide to follow it up with a movie about sea monsters that doesn't involve Aquaman.
Yeah. And then didn't they're talking about recasting Batman as younger Batman?
We're going to talk about that in our questions. Yes, they want to recast Batman. Right now, apparently Robert Pattinson is the lead, which the more I think about it, actually, that'd be kind of a cool Batman, honestly. But we're going to talk about that. We had a question about Batman, so we'll talk about that from the 550. But yeah, that'd be like following up The Dark Knight. Speaking of Batman, that'd be like Warner Brothers following up with The Dark Knight, with instead of following it up with Bane, making an entire movie about Bane's henchmen.
Or just like Bane's pit.
Oh no, sorry, let me rephrase that, because that actually a better one would be in following The Dark Knight with an entire movie about the team of guys who the Joker kills in the beginning who rob banks. You know what? We're going to team up with the Joker bank robbers, but we're not going to have the Joker or Batman. It's going to be really great. People are going to love it.
Yeah, it's... I'm saying, Brian, it's a dumpster fire over there at DC.
Here's what I want. I want you to take The Man of Steel, which is a great movie, and I want you to take Henry Cavill's Superman, and I want you to expand an entire Superman universe and introduce Supergirl and give her her own movie and give us a whole Superman universe with a great Superman.
Brian, that makes too much sense.
I want you to give me a Flash movie that has a real Flash and not a weird Flash, and it's just...
Then he does the Flash paradox and resets the whole DC universe.
I want you to recast the Joker and give me Mad Love, one of the greatest Harley Quinn Joker comic books of all time, and that is about Harley Quinn breaking away from the Joker, and it's fantastic. Give me that movie.
Or bring back Heath Ledger.
All right, on that note, we're moving on. So that's all the news we got for you guys. I could rage literally for an hour about DC, and me and Faithful 50 member Jeff threw out to DC that if you give us a 24-pack of beer, a bottle of scotch, and some cigars, and lock us in a room for 24 hours, we will give you guys the greatest we will blueprint the greatest DC universe of all time.
Yeah, it will be at least 7 pages.
Yeah, per movie.
Oh, per movie.
And that'd be about 40 movies, so you have to give us some paper and pens too.
Enough information for you to do everything that you need to know.
Anyway, that's it. That's all the news we got for you guys today, and gals, and everybody in between. There you go. Moving on. What do you want to do? You want to do From the Faithful 50, or you want to do our quick parent trap? We don't have a lot of time, so what do you want to do?
Let's say the Faithful 50 for
last.
Last.
All right, so let's make this quick though, because we're. I don't want a 3-hour show tonight, Ryan. I got shit to do.
Yeah, well, as the person who does the main, the most volume amount of talking, then I think you should mostly direct that at yourself.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. All right, well, welcome everybody. We'd like to introduce you to we'd like to lure you into this room because this is the Parent Trap. Bam! Doors are shut, and now you're trapped. Time to listen to stories from me and Ryan's life.
Because being a parent is exactly like being trapped.
Being a parent is basically like an episode of a Saw movie, and you have to find a way to get out and not lose all your limbs.
And everything that you do, you screw up, and then you just try to give them like a bowl of ice cream that make up for a whole day of screaming at them. So
I don't make up at all. I just tell them to accept it and deal with it and move on. See, that's how you toughen up your children, Ryan. You don't bribe them.
Try and just cover it up with
no. Usually they deserve that yelling. You don't want to reward them for negative behavior. This should be called the Ryan Trap. I gotta teach you how to be a parent, dude. What the hell? All right, well, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first? What do you got?
I can go. Well, yours is a husband trap.
Yeah, so. I got the husband trap, which is a slight deviation, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I have my parent trap is Lincoln, my oldest son. He's 11. We saw Endgame, or not Endgame.
Holy shit! You saw Endgame? How'd you swing this? One, how'd you swing it? And two, how come you didn't fucking tell me you sell out?
Movie theater. Went and broke into Disney. But we saw Infinity War in the theater, and that was actually the first Marvel movie that my son had ever seen in his whole life. He has shown zero interest in Marvel movies, didn't care about any of them at all.
So hang on real quick, side note, we've renamed this segment to Why Ryan is a Shitty Parent.
No.
All right, now go.
But, so now... And it took him a little while, but we had a family movie night, and it was my night to pick, and I picked Spider-Man: Homecoming because I wanted to make sure everybody watched it because I am a good parent, Brian.
Whatever.
And both of my kids were head over heels.
Of course they were. It's Spider-Man.
And they loved Spider-Man. My son's like, I think I'm starting to like all the Marvel superhero movies now. So which one should I watch next? And I said, well, you should probably start with Civil War, but then he decided to go with Thor Ragnarok because he said, they were like, well, that's a funnier one. And so he watched that, and then he watched Black Panther. And
so he's going completely, he's doing back in time, he's Back to the Future in it. He's just completely going backwards.
He's literally been watching all the movies from Infinity War, in the backward sequence.
So is the last movie he's going to watch going to be Iron Man 1? Different way to watch it.
I think so. I think he's up to Civil War now, which would be the next one that he hasn't seen yet. And I don't think he really needs to go sooner than that. Do you? I mean, I'm trying to think.
I mean, probably Winter Soldier. I really like Winter
Man?
Soldier's worth watching just because it's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. So maybe I should do Civil War, and I'll make sure he watches Winter Soldier. And I think.
So really, the only essentials, in my opinion, is you should watch Iron Man 1, and then you can watch Iron Man, then the Avengers, then you don't even really need to watch Avengers 2. Well, you need the chords. So here's what I would do. I would go Iron Man, Avengers 1, Avengers 2, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Ragnarok, Avengers, Infinity War. You're good.
I forgot about Doctor Strange.
And it's not even that great, but you kind of have to watch it to understand what the hell Doctor Strange is doing.
Yeah.
When he goes back in time.
Doctor Strange come after Civil War?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's before. But then again, if you watch you watch Thor Ragnarok, it kind of gives you everything you need to know about Doctor Strange, truthfully.
Yeah. I mean, it gives you enough of the information that you need to know.
All right, I'm going to say you don't need to watch Doctor Strange, but you definitely got to watch Thor Ragnarok, Civil War, Captain America 2 and 3, all the Avenger movies, and Iron Man 1.
Well, I think for now I'll have him watch Civil War, and then we'll go to Winter Soldier, and then we'll just kind of mishmash like all the other previous.
Because really, you don't even need to watch Spider-Man if you watch Civil War, because it introduces Spider-Man and.
Yeah, so when Spider-Man's at that part,
Mm-hmm.
you know, where he's doing like all the video of himself, like at
That's so great, yeah.
air hanger fight and stuff, and he's like, "Did I grab Captain America's shield and I threw it?" And then my son's like, "Oh, did they do that in the movie?" I'm like, yeah.
Yes. If I was a good parent, I would have made you watch them in order, but no.
I was like,
I suck.
I've been trying to get you to watch these movies for the last 7 years of your life.
That's cool, though. Hey, better late than never, I guess.
Glad he's finally gotten into it, and he's super into him, and so at least I know from now on, I don't have to worry about it. Like that, I'll have a buddy that wants to go to the movie with me.
What the good news is that he doesn't have to wait the entire year like we all did between Infinity War and Endgame. Now he's like, I watched Infinity War, and now in like a month I get to find out how it all ends. I'm excited. Yeah. But that kind of actually leads me into my parent trap / husband trap story. My wife has been just stubborn as hell, refusing to watch Game of Thrones ever. The greatest show on television she will not watch because she heard about some of the weird stuff like the twin cest and some of the breastfeeding children at like 17 years old.
This is the woman that tried to make me read the Twilight books.
Yes. Well, she has been adamant that she will not watch it. And so finally, and I've been on her because I'm like, listen, you don't understand. The final season's going to start. You're going to get to come in fresh, like watch them all, and you won't even have to wait. You're just going to get the whole saga in one, and you get to experience. The whole world is going to be talking about these last 6 episodes, and you're going to get to. And she wouldn't do it. And then finally one night we had a few drinks, and all our shows we'd watched, and there was nothing to watch because I watched The Rookie. I think you recommended that. We ended up binge watching The Rookie. That's a good show. And then we had nothing to watch, and I'm like, let's watch Game of Thrones. And she's like I said, she'd had a few cocktails. She's like, fine, we can watch it. And so we watched the first episode, and oh my God, we got into the biggest fight at the end because, so I forgot how intense the first episode is. Within 5 minutes at the end, you get a child almost being murdered, thrown out of a window.
Yeah. After watching the brother and sister banging.
After watching the brother and sister banging. And a minute before that, you got to watch Khal Drogo take Daenerys while she's crying. It's like, it's very intense and very emotional. And when Bran gets thrown out the window, she stops, she just looks at me, she goes, what the fuck was that? And I go, what? And she's like, this show is fucking, what is wrong? She goes, what is wrong with you people? What is wrong with all you people? Why do you like this show? It's crazy. It's awful. It's terrible. I'm like, yeah, but it's amazing. She looked at me like I just murdered a dog. She's like, I can't even believe I love you. What is wrong with you? I'm like, what do you mean what's wrong with me? So we get in this big fight about Game of Thrones. And I'm like, you know what, screw you, whatever. It's like, I didn't want you to watch this show anyway. I'm sorry that I'm begging you to watch the best show ever created. If you don't want to watch something good and you want to be left out on your own, whatever. We was just getting this huge fight. And so the next day she's like, are we going to watch the next episode? I'm like, oh, now you want to watch it. So we got about halfway through. And my wife usually like plays on her phone and stuff, and then like a few episodes in, she's like,
"No, you gotta slap it out of her hand."
So a few episodes in, she goes, the show's not. She's like, okay, the show's pretty good. She goes, but I feel like it's a show you have to pay attention to. I'm like, yes, because you feel that way because it's a fucking show you got to pay attention to. And I mean, for her, honestly, I'm helping her explain the houses, and there is a lot of information in that first season. I forgot how much info dump they give you. But So I mean, the cool thing is I've been able to pause it and tell her, okay, well, this is why they're doing this, and this is what's happening, and so we finally tonight we're gonna actually probably after this we're gonna watch the season 1 finale. So in like 4 days we've watched the entire first season.
Oh, so she's seen Ned Stark's.
Yeah, that was last night. And by that episode, she'd finally started putting her phone down, and she's like, got you. I got you. Ugh.
Hooked her.
Boom. Hook, line, and sinker. And I keep telling her, I'm like, just wait. We haven't even gotten to dragons the size of mountains.
Getting excited about Rob Stark, and you're like, oh, Rob Stark, he's so great. He's gonna unite them nowhere.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch. I think some of the big episodes, I might secretly like hide a camera and record her reactions. Because
Red Wedding, you have to like secretly like record that.
The best part is she already hates Joffrey. Like she's already ready for people to die. And I'm like, you got a little while, but there's some good shit coming. Just wait till she meets Bolton. Ugh.
Yeah, wait until Cersei blows up the Sept and.
Oh, dude, it's going to be crazy. So So the husband trap, I finally got her. Woo! It took 8 years.
My wife has, I think your wife had zero interest. My wife has like negative interest.
Yeah, it was, it's also been cool for me too, because I haven't rewatched the show like since I've watched it. So it's actually kind of cool going through and rewatch. I will say this, the first season literally gives away everything. Like rewatching it, knowing the end.
Yeah, you can see like the.
Oh, dude, the whole thing is right there in full display, like Littlefinger. Like the whole point too in the very beginning. There's a point where they find the cat's paw dagger. The one that, spoiler alert, Littlefinger gets his throat slit with. There's a point when he's playing with the sword and he spins it, and the blade lands right at his throat. I'm like, I'm telling you, have you watched season 1 again recently?
I know. I watched season 6.
You should rewatch season 1, dude. Literally, they lay out the entire story. It's all there. Like, it's all there. There's even jokes like, Jon Snow, if you don't learn to make friends, it's going to get you killed. You're like...
Yeah. In the heart.
Dude, there's so many, like, hints in that first season about the whole show. But it's all there, man. But But yeah, it's been fun. So I'm really enjoying. So we got a lot of Game of Thrones to watch because we got about 2 months to catch up on the whole thing. So we're got about 55 episodes left. So we should be able to do it because usually when we start watching it, we'll watch 2 or 3 episodes in one night. 3 or 4 times in a week. So
yeah, you'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be good. So all right, cool. That is our parent/husband trap stories of the week. Both of us, I think this is uplifting. This isn't a funny story. This was us. Finally victorious, Ryan. We finally broke down some barriers, and we brought enjoyment to the people that we love. So, you know what? Give ourselves a pat on the back, Ryan. Gold stars for both of us this week.
I feel good.
I feel real good about myself. So, I may not later after the black, red, and all the weddings, but, right now I feel pretty good about it. You know what? What do you think is going to be worse for her? The red wedding, the black wedding, or the red viper?
Oh, forgot about the Red Viper fight.
That one's pretty bad.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
That was real. I mean, the red wedding is the most soul crushing, but that was pretty soul crushing.
The red wedding is probably going to be the one that gets her like. I think that's going to be the most like. she's gonna get invested. I can see her getting invested in Robb Stark.
The Black Wedding is the most like disturbing. I think you're just like, oh my god, fucking Bolton. But anyway, that more to come on that. I'll give you maybe I will have a weekly Holly update on Game of Thrones. So all right, moving on from the Faithful 50. What do we got?
All right, so our first question.
Hang on, real quick. Thanks everybody. Quick shout out to everyone who left a question. We appreciate you guys moving with us to our new night and still coming with awesome questions. So you guys rule. Thank you very much. If you'd like to be part of it next week, every Wednesday, Ryan puts up a post. All you got to do is leave us a question and we'll answer it on the show.
Yeah. Our first question, or just pull it up for before I'm at the end. Chris, the not boring Chris, who sometimes adds value. He wants to know if we're going to answer his question this week. So if you know what that question is.
Yes, his question is, who do we think they're going to recast? Who do we think is going to be the new Batman? And who would we like to be the new Batman? So you hinted at earlier, Warner Brothers is apparently, Ben Affleck is out as Batman, and they are looking to replace him with a younger actor that can be Batman for a while.
Hayden Christensen.
No. I mentioned Robert Pattinson right now from Twilight is actually the lead. It's apparently the fan favorite lead right now. And honestly, at first I was like, come on. But then they've been photoshopping him in the bat suit with kind of a gruffy beard and stuff. Yeah. You know what? Take away the fact that he's in Twilight. I just watched Goblet of Fire where he played Cedric Diggory in Harry Potter. And you know what? Yeah. I kind of like Robert Pattinson. He's a pretty good actor. I think he'd actually make a good Batman. He's tall. He's got the square jaw.
If you can look past Twilight, he's a good actor.
Yeah, and I think it would actually be a pretty good. Honestly, I think it'd be a pretty good. I think it'd be a good casting. So I'm gonna say Chris. I'm gonna say Robert Pattinson, or give me somebody I've never heard of.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because Batman is the star. You don't need to have a star.
Yeah. Jeff wants to know, what is the one house from a movie, show, or book that you would love to live in, and why? And then he's got a follow-up question after ours. So what is the one house from whatever movie, book, comic book?
Can I choose Hogwarts?
That's more of a school than a house. You could go with Doctor Strange house.
Can I go with the X mansion, Professor Xavier's mansion? Because that means I'm a mutant.
That's a house. Technically, a mansion is a house. It's a residence.
I'm gonna say the X-Men mansion house because they have like the training rooms and they got all kinds of cool stuff.
Can I take like the Justice League Tower? I mean, does that count as a house?
I mean, it's a space station, but sure, you can. You want to fly around the moon? What would be the worst house to live in? I would say the house on Haunted Hill.
Let's follow-up question. So, what would be the worst house?
Oh.
The house with the clock on the walls.
Well, hang on, real quick. What was your? So you want to live in the Justice League Tower?
Yes.
And I want to live in the X Mansion. All right. Worst house to live in. Luke Skywalker's hut on Octu. That'd be pretty bad.
The poker dice house.
Yeah, that'd be pretty bad. The house on Haunted Hill. That'd be bad.
Any of the houses in Scream.
That would also be pretty bad.
The house in Jumanji.
The Shining. The hotel The Shining was in.
Oh. No.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. How about that? Oh, the Money Pit. The Tom Hanks house.
Any house in a horror movie setting would probably be a good no.
It's also, I wouldn't mind living in Richie Rich's house. Didn't he have a cool house?
Oh yeah, I remember that movie.
Oh, you know what house I always wanted to live in as a kid? I thought it'd be awesome. Was the Ghostbuster fire station.
Ooh, that'd be sweet.
That'd be pretty awesome. So, all right, thank you, Jeff, for the question. That's a great question. Who's next?
Next up, we had David. He wants to know, what was your favorite thing that you did during the Snowmageddon 2019, Brian?
My favorite thing I did was, I mentioned earlier, I went to Costco, and it was like a ghost town. Nobody was there on Friday because everybody went shopping on Thursday. And so I was like, I took the opportunity. There was nobody in the parking lot. And Costco's got a huge parking lot. So I started going around the corners, and I'm like, I'm just doing burnouts in the parking lot with the snow.
And then did you
Brody's?
get on a cart and you like ran with the cart?
No, I was doing it in my Ford truck, and the Costco employees were like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Woo." Pretty cool. That was it.
That was your most exciting thing.
Yeah. Did you have any fun snow stories? Anything you did fun?
I have not had enough snow to do anything, but I did have enough snow this week to not have to go to work for the last 2 days because of the ice.
That's pretty lame.
So yeah, rough life for me.
And then we had I think is that all the questions we had?
Yes, from this week. I think we did have one from Christine last week that she sent us a message for because she was on top of things.
She was. Let me see here if I can find her message.
Her message was.
I know it was a Halloween message or a Valentine's Day message.
Yes, she wanted to say how great I was, and
that was not the message.
I contribute a large amount to the show.
That was also not the message.
Because I have very low self-esteem due to Brian's harassment all the time.
Dude, shut up. You're the worst. I don't want to hear from you anymore. Why do you even talk? Quit talking.
Well, I have to kind of try and fill the dead air as you're looking for the message.
Well, this was your job, and you were supposed to have it all ready, and you didn't have it ready at all.
I can only have one screen up at a time. I'm not very good with...
Well, if Facebook was better and like put their messages where I could easily click on a message button.
Well, maybe Facebook just needs to stop being such
There
a
it is. I found it. Don't worry about it. I got it. You did a terrible job filling the air. All right, so Christine wants to know. I'm sorry, Ryan. I appreciate you, and I only do this as a gag for the show. I would never treat you like this in real life.
You're an asshole, and
that's true. Shut up. You know, I got a question to read. Just zip
everything that your wife says about you is true.
Yeah, I know. Everything she says about me is true. All right. For tonight, she wants to know, Christine would like to know, with the dreaded Valentine's Day coming up, what are some of our favorite things your wives have gotten you if we celebrate? And what is it that you really, really want for Valentine's Day?
I'm a Valentine's Day Grinch. I think it's a stupid ass holiday, and I've made my wife know that every single Valentine's Day. I've made that point. What is the best thing I've ever gotten? I think my wife got me some chocolates and a nice card.
Yeah, we don't celebrate I mean, we celebrate it by just kind of, we'll eat dinner together or something occasionally. We get cards and...
We celebrate more on the day after. We go to the grocery store and all the candy's like 75% off.
Usually my wife likes to find me so on Valentine's. Maybe here's a little look into my personal life here. So for fun, my wife likes to get me on Valentine's Day. If she gets me something, she likes to get me something funny. So like she finds the most obnoxious, like brightly colored boxer shorts, and she'll buy those for me. She wants something with like big glitter lips on the butt or something, right?
Maybe she just really wants you to wear them.
Well, every time I pull them out, she laughs hysterically. So, I'll try them on and she'll just start dying because she thinks it's hilarious. And I'll be like, quit laughing. She's like, no, it's sexy. I'm like, you're not laughing like it's sexy. You're laughing like, I can't believe that idiot actually put those on.
Yeah.
But, hey, it gives my wife enjoyment, so I'll take it. As far as what do we really want for Valentine's Day, I can speak for pretty much every man in the world. All we want is something hot.
Yeah. And sweaty.
And something special. Maybe something that we don't get the 364 other days a year. So,
And I appreciate my kids will just make me like some terrible card that they made at school. And
wait a minute. Okay, you cannot transition from hot and sweaty to talking about things your kids make you. For the record, I was talking about sex with the missus. That's what I was talking about.
That's what you were talking about?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like working out.
I was talking about hot, dirty Valentine's Day sex. That's all guys really want. No, that's all guys really want for Valentine's Day. So, ladies, if you're like, I don't know what to get my man, yeah, you do. It's free 99, and, that's it. There you go.
We don't require much.
It's the only gift that we really care about on Valentine's Day.
And mornings on our birthdays.
And if you want to buy your man some really obnoxious looking boxer briefs and make him parade around in the room wearing them, well then go ahead and do that too.
Yeah. I have
because
not
he will do it.
Yeah, I have not had that luxury yet, but
Soon, Ryan.
Oh yeah.
I'll have my wife email your wife.
You're gonna send me some? Is that?
Yes, I'm kidding. Shut up! You're gonna ruin the surprise.
Sorry, Brian.
But so now, feel free to go ahead and talk about your children's gifts they give you.
I don't want to talk about my children.
All right, anymore. So there you go, everyone. Thank you very much for your questions from the Faithful 50. We would like to know if you were like me for Valentine's Day, or what you prefer, or what you think is a great gift. So thank you, everybody who gave us a question, and look forward to your questions next week.
Valentine's Day. Hooray.
It's tomorrow. Whoop.
Oh, this does not look like a heart, Brian.
What does that look like?
You were doing it like this.
Clearly that's a heart symbol, Ryan. Don't be that guy. Come on. All right, what's next? Recommendations. Let's do some quick recommendations so we can get out of here and go do our comic book review for the Umbrella Academy coming out on Netflix this weekend. Is that the Eye of Sauron?
I was doing.
Or is that you looking for love in all the wrong places, Ryan? Ooh. All right, whatever. Recommendations. Weekly recommendations. We something you should or shouldn't waste your time doing this week. Ryan, as always, would you like to go first?
My recommendation this week is that I don't really have one. I haven't done anything the last week other than the stuff that I did all my stuff. My free time was just reading for our review. So,
just recommend people watch Umbrella Academy and watch our review.
People should watch the Umbrella Academy that premieres February 14th on Valentine's Day, where you can also catch our amazing review that we're going to do
in about 5 minutes. So yeah, Umbrella. Wow, Ryan, that's a great recommendation. And in case Brian didn't tell you, you can watch all episodes of the Umbrella Academy season 1 on Netflix, airing tomorrow. Mm-hmm. There you go. My recommendations this week is actually another new show based on a comic book, Deadly Class on Sci-Fi Channel right now. It is the comic book movie, or it feels like a movie. It's a comic book show that was developed by the Russos, the two brothers who did Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Endgame. What?
And Endgame.
Yeah, and Endgame. Very talented directors. They started their they're directing in TV, and they're going back to it. I don't believe they directed. I think they did the pilot maybe, but it's being directed by different people. Basically, it's based on a comic book that is set in 1987. Basically, think of it's like a Hogwarts, or actually, not a Hogwarts, say a Professor X's school for gifted children, but for like psycho assassins.
Yes.
And it's pretty good.
There's a death room.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like, they murder a lot of people, and it's got an interesting dynamic. I'm 3 episodes in. I watched the pilot, and I was pretty much immediately hooked. I think there's only 4 episodes so far, but you can get all 4 on demand right now.
Who's the publisher for that comic?
I believe it's Image. So we might have to check it out and do a review on it, because I'm very interested in the comic book. The show is great, and I've heard it's very much true to the comic. So I would definitely recommend it. It is an adult show. Do not let your kids watch it. There's a lot of violence and bad language, but it is really intriguing. It got me hooked right away, and it's got a great premise. So the hero is kind of an anti-hero. In a world full of terrible people, he is probably one of the least terrible. He at least has a conscience. I mean, his goal is to learn how to be a killer assassin so he can kill Ronald Reagan. But
oh, wow.
Well, I don't want to tell why, but there's a reason why he wants to do it. It's like I said, it's a good show. I definitely recommend checking it out. So plus it has a killer soundtrack because they really tie into the 80s. They've got that Stranger Things vibes going a little bit, which is cool.
Ooh, okay, I'll check it out.
Well, I'm not saying Stranger Things because it's not sci-fi like that. It's more of like a evil Breakfast Club.
Evil Breakfast Club, still in.
Yeah, Evil Breakfast Club, I'm going to stick with that one. Check it out. It's a good show. So Deadly Class on Sci-Fi Channel right now. I'm catching on demand. So, all right. You got anything else, Ryan?
I do not, good sir.
All right. Well, before we get out of here and record our Umbrella Academy review, would you like to tell the people where they can find us?
Of course I can, Brian. We are on YouTube at the Geek Dad Report and Twitter at the Geek Dad Report, and Brian is Brian West 53, and I am Big Bruiser. We are on Facebook at the Geek Dad Report, and you can also find us on podhale.com with our friends, the Utah Outcast. And we are also on iTunes, so please go like, subscribe, give us 5 stars, and leave a comment every now and then, because we get notifications on them, and then we get really excited when people leave comments on stuff. And that's a very interesting, exciting phase, but nice. But yeah, so, and then just tell like 5 of your friends to listen to the show, and that's all we need. Just put 5 on it. That's all you gotta do.
Remember, 5 stars, 5 comments, 5 friends.
5 friends.
5 minutes of your time.
Subscriptions.
Whatever, I don't know what the 5th one is. Yeah. But there you go. Thank you, Ryan. That was amazing. You did a good job.
I'm glad I could do my part, Brian.
All right, well, we did our parts, and that's all we got for you guys. So thank you for joining us. Remember I said no show next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks. I will regale you with stories from Universal Studios. We're taking the kids to go to Hogwarts. So I will have my wand at the ready and my robes on, and we'll be back in 2 weeks.
So just remember, Brian is probably going to just shove his family aside and just experience Hogwarts by himself, because that is probably the better way to do it.
Well, we rented a car, so I'm going to get up before they wake up and just take the car and go. They'll be stuck there. If they want to Uber it, that's on them. So until next time, everybody, thank you for watching, and as always, stay awesome.
And stay nerdy, everyone.
Expelliarmus! Where's my wand? Ah!